Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
And a good day to you guys.
So, guys, for months we've been giving you messages from, the Pleiadians, Galactic Federation, Nocturians, and some guides of ours as well. And we've been talking about, what's been coming, what's going to happen in these times. And these are definitely times of trial and test for all of us. So the big news is President Trump testing positive, and that's a big news.
It is some really big news, and it's not just him, it's some other people up high too. So it's kind of strange what's going on right now.
But at the same time, it's part of what we've been kind of expecting, because we know it's going to be chaos as we go into election time. It's just going to get to look crazier and crazier. And again, the most imperative thing is holding our vibrations high, not letting them to go low, and recognizing that this is most definitely a spiritual battle that we're in the middle of. There are the powers that be that want to pull your vibrations low. They want you in fear. They want you angry. They want you full of hate. That way you're going to stay under their control.
You are. And, it's really important. The Galactics want us to really push the fact that they are trying to keep your vibration low, and remember that and rise up above this. At the same time, we do need to know what's going on. We just can't get emotionally caught up.
Right. So we see this tweet by Marco Rubio: any adversary who views news of POTUS testing positive as an opportunity to test the United States would be making a grave mistake. It's all part of the bigger plan. It's what we've been talking about, and Cindy has gotten the news, and we shared it with you months and months ago, that it's going to perhaps look as if President Trump is no longer with us anymore. Again, look, not necessarily be the case. Recognize this is scripted, and there's actors on both sides, and I see friends saying that they understand it's scripted, but then emotionally they're right in the middle of it. They're getting angry, they're getting irritated, and also obviously in many cases showing fear. So this is part of a much, much bigger picture that's ongoing. Here we see Vice President Pence is filling in during call with governors Friday after President Trump's COVID diagnosis. So this is huge, because there's already talk about going on down the line as far as the transfer of power. And, after Pence would be Pelosi, who is being tested right now. And so there's all these things coming out bombarding everybody's psyche. And obviously people that are very, very pro-Trump, they get knots in their stomach thinking of this. And meanwhile, Joe Biden has reportedly tested negative. So there's a big list right here of people that have tested negative, including Pompeo, Mike Pence and his wife, Mnuchin, Barr, Meadows, Jared and Ivanka, Dan Scavino, Amy Barrett, Barron Trump's adventure, the last president. And again, the last president. This is part of the script. Trump, the last president. So what does that mean? Well, that means there's going to be something else happening. Either the last president of the United States as you know it, because it's going to start to break up, or we are going into a different type of control grid that won't basically have a presidency, which would be the case if we have martial law. Chad Wolf, keep an eye on him, as well as General Mark Milley, Alex Azar, and John Ratcliffe. And so as we go on down here, there's some rumors, which people were saying that's totally unfounded. But we see over here, White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows delivered the first press briefing since Trump, and the First Lady tested positive last night. He confirmed that Trump is experiencing mild cold-like symptoms, though he wouldn't say anything about what treatments he may or may not be taking. So that's interesting. And he wasn't wearing a mask as he's speaking with reporters. It's all just, it's part of this show that's ongoing right now. And so we have multiple, people talking about the mild symptoms. And then the president's BMI is over 30. He is morbidly obese. That's just a medical fact. And also he's 74. So, these are things that make him more susceptible from what they tell us. And of course, there are those people out there that say there is no such thing. It's one of those things where it could be all of the above. It could be a psyop, and that doesn't mean that there's no such thing at the same time.
That's right. It could be just a bunch of stuff to get us all riled up and get us talking and chattering and concerned. And that's the game that they play, But I mean, gosh, these are pretty serious times.
So as we see, he's said to have minor symptoms. He was lethargic at a Bedminster fundraiser per an attendee. As of last night, officials were discussing treatment options, as well as options for addressing the nation. And interesting, right? 33 days before the election. 33 days before the election. The numerology, the symbology is always right there. By the way, there's a Simpsons cartoon that shows President Trump in the casket. And we know the Simpsons also foretold there being a President Trump.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yep. And so, think about this. Think about the scenario. If, say it looks like he succumbs to this, wow, just think about that. Think about the impact and the push for, this to, whatever the quote unquote cure is going to be. I mean, there's going to be so much more force behind forcing it on the entire population if it appears the president has succumbed to it. And then also think of the anger towards China, which is again gearing us up for the war that is already breaking out in proxy areas as well. Senator Mike Lee, a Republican on the Judiciary Committee, said he tested positive for COVID-19 just days after meeting in person with Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett. Interesting.
It is interesting. And, not too long ago, that Trump mentioned that he might not be with us for a while.
Yes. And so he laid the seeds there for, like, if they do say he's no longer with us, there are going to be people that are saying, no, he's in the underground bunkers. He's got, 2 M16s in his hands, and he's blasting away the deep state personally. And they're going to say the arrests are happening. Hillary's been taken into Gitmo, and Obama has as well, and they're coming for Pelosi, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Meanwhile, what really is happening is the eroding of our rights and the imposition of the military dictatorship that's to come. So, not all of us are asleep. Unfortunately, so many people are asleep and still just caught up in the drama. So as we see here, Dr. Eric Feigl-Ding, jumping more into the politics side, breaking Nancy Pelosi has just been contacted by the White House on the protocols of continuity of government, according to MSNBC. And she was tested as well, results pending. Getting serious, folks. Yeah, of course. And we know it's coming. This is absolutely no surprise. As you see here again, testing positive, having symptoms. This is all part of the bigger plan. And meanwhile, both Biden and Kamala Harris have tested negative. And, this is part of the division that's going on. It's part of a big stage that's going on, all designed to just basically provoke fear, anger, and hatred.
Yes, absolutely. And keep our vibrations low. That's the name of the game. That's what it's all about. And we need to kind of press back with keeping our vibrations high and taking good care of ourselves and not getting too sucked in, but at the same time knowing what's going on around us. It's a delicate balance. It's a fine line.
It is, and we've gotten these messages from the Galactics about this time and, from our other guides as well. And that's what they keep stressing is that, recognize this is most definitely, as we would say, spiritual warfare, it basically means it's multidimensional. It's going on different planes of existence. These people, all these people we see are not the real controllers. They are not the real controllers, even up to, say, BG, Mr. Microsoft and others as well. They are not the ultimate controllers. There are forces behind this which are much higher. And we got a lot of messages last night in the middle of the night, and a lot of interesting info. We are definitely going into a time period that's going to be very challenging. Mm-hmm. But don't cultivate fear. Right. Don't cultivate hatred. Don't fall into the trap. Don't be ready to rush out and become either a Proud Boy or a BLM, member just because you can't stand the other side. And, don't, again, espouse hatred, because these are things that are just going to lower your vibrations, and they're going to make you more susceptible to being controlled. And they're also going to put you at risk for not ascending in these times and getting out of this constant 3D, 4D loop in which we are, as Buddha said, basically kind of, trapped in this wheel, this cycle of basically karmic looping, which keeps us ultimately under the control of these darker energies. And that's what they want to do. And we have the ability to jump way beyond this right now. And if we are just cultivating that essence of love and compassion within us and peace, in these times, we can make tremendous progress.
Yeah, it's really, really important, and take good care of yourself. Be good to yourself. It's not a selfish thing at all to, take up meditation, mantras, a spiritual practice just for yourself. And if you do fall into one side or the other, just understand that could make the situation much worse if you're giving it that kind of energy. So only positive energy you want to put forth. And if that means just being responsible for yourself and just going within, then do that.
So we'll do another video later in the day, or a live, if possible, that's going to talk more about some of the information that we got last night from the Galactics and some other very, very high vibrational beings about exactly what is going on right now and right here. And I hope you guys will join us for that as well. Thank you so much for your support on Patreon and Ko-Fi. We couldn't do it without you guys. Stay safe out there. Stay prepared. Keep your vibes high.
God bless and namaste.
God bless and namaste.